Where's me camera? Where's me camera? Oh no! There it is. Hello everyone. My camera wasn't on. It's because the streaming like that. Hello everyone. How are we all doing? Welcome all back to the channel for the Liverpool breakdown. We had a very busy day today. We had a lot of news come out today. A lot of news come out today. Florian Wirtz to Liverpool is on. Jeremy Frimpong to Liverpool, all but done. And Rayan Cherki to Liverpool, there is interest. All that, we're going to break them down, see how they fit into the team. We're going to watch a couple of comps with them as I try and... I want to test out a new method I've potentially got for getting around copyright. But if you're new in already, make sure on that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you don't miss any more content. Let's just get straight into it and talk about the big one. And let's hope that everything is set up correctly here. Not that one. Oh, no, this one can work. But I haven't got everything set up for it because I've picked the wrong background. So where is my window capture for this one? You're just gonna have to deal with this background temporarily, people. I cannot find it. I think it is that one. Why is it not showing? Oh, this is... I have had an absolute mare here, people. Telling you right now. I'm telling you right now, I've had an absolute stinker in some of this. Where is the thing? Oh, that's StreamYard. There we go. Right. Can you tell I was really prepared for this, people? So I've done all the work. So, there was reports all day from Germany, and we take German reports, with a bit of a ooh, but also a pinch of salt. But Liverpool make contact with Florian Wirtz camp to express interest in signing playmaker if he leaves Bayer Leverkusen and is keen on moving to England. Liverpool admiration long-standing but unclear whether the 22-year-old plans to exit Bayer 04 or Germany. That is from David Ornstein. That's from David Ornstein. So, what we do here, we talk about this. Florian Wirtz. This is one of the best number 10s on the planet. One of the best number 10s on the planet. In fact, in my opinion, he is the best number 10 on the planet. The best number 10 on the planet. Liverpool could get the best number 10 on the planet. Oh, why is my chat... There's not an echo now, is there? Is it one of them ones that had two mics going into it? I apologise. But, people, this is one of the best number 10s on the planet. You do not pass up opportunities to sign one of the best number 10s on the planet. I don't care. Let me just address something real quick. Big ups K-Mac. I'm streaming on OBS. I have no idea how to get a guest on OBS. I'll do research on that and I'll let you know for a future stream. This is a no-brainer for me. This is who I would spend the money on. In fact, no. Julian Alvarez is the guy I'd spend the money on. If I could spend 120 million quid on one player, it's Julian Alvarez. If I can't get Julian Alvarez, it's Florian Wirtz. And if I can't get Florian Wirtz, then it's Alexander Isak. Julian Alvarez is king. He's the best fit for anything Liverpool want to do. Florian Wirtz is the best available player. This is someone who has Ballon d'Or potential. This is someone who, just last year, was the talisman at 21 to guiding his team to an invincible season in the Bundesliga as they won their first ever Bundesliga title. You do not pass up opportunities like Florian Wirtz. I'm telling you right now. You do not pass up opportunities like Florian Wirtz. What else do we get? This is the new one that just broke. Florian Wirtz's move to Bayern is not the most likely outcome. Man City are pushing and concrete talks with the player have taken place. The Wirtz family also met with Liverpool on Tuesday, which suggests that talks with the Reds are also advanced. We're going to have competition. We are going to have competition in the form of Man City for Florian Wirtz. But I think we can win that battle. I think that's a battle we can win. I really do. I think Man City, with the players they've got, with the players they're looking at, I think there's more of an element and more of an enticement for Florian Wirtz to come to Liverpool. I really do. I really, really, really do. I think Florian Wirtz is mega. Absolutely mega. Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely mega. Next up, this one. This was what broke today at the morning. In the morning, this is what broke. Liverpool threatened to hijack Florian Wirtz from Bayern Munich. Liverpool always have Florian Wirtz planned as Reds could spoil Bayern party. The Wirtz meeting on Tuesday was planned. This was what we were getting initially. And then this was from Lewis Steele. Liverpool like Leverkusen's Florian Wirtz, but the expectation is that he will stay in Germany with Bayern Munich or Bayer Leverkusen. Should that change, they are primed to pursue him. So the belief was he's going to stay in Germany. If he doesn't, Liverpool are ready. And that was also pushed by Ben Jacobs. We're interested, but we believe he'll either move to Bayern or stay at Leverkusen. If he decides to move, we'll advance. Big up City as well, who says, don't think I can do another embarrassing window, Tom. I don't think this is going to be embarrassing. I think Liverpool are very serious this window. I really do think Liverpool are serious this window. Believe me or don't believe me, I think Liverpool are really serious this window. I think they're sensing that there's an opportunity to create something really special across the next couple of years. And this is the most recent breaking news. Lewis Steele, there remains an expectation that Florian Wirtz will remain in Germany next season, but both Liverpool and City will push to sign him. Wirtz is understood to have softened his stance on joining City in recent months, and the Premier League appeals to Wirtz, and now Liverpool are also keen. That to me is Liverpool committing. That to me is Liverpool going, you know what, he's our guy. And this opens up a bigger question. This opens up a bit of a bigger question in the sense of, if I go to my tactical pad, are we set up? No, my tactical pad is not set up. It should be set up when I do this, though. Bingo. When I do this, this opens up the bigger question. So this is Liverpool's team right now. This is Liverpool's team right about now. Oh, wrong one. I need to click that one. Let's sit there and add a... Where is he? A Florian Wirtz into this team. Dominic Szoboszlai can go over there for now. And we are adding a Florian Wirtz into this team. He's the big money signing. That to me suggests that Liverpool have moved on from a big money striker. That suggests to me Liverpool moved on from a big money striker. They've looked at the market, they've looked at Isak, they've looked at Alvarez, they've looked at whoever and went, we're going to struggle to get this big name striker target through the door. And we're not going to... Because we can't spend 120 on Isak, we're not going to spend 100 on Benjamin Sesko. They're not going to spend 100 million quid on Sesko. So what are they going to do then? They might pivot to a 30, 40 million quid striker. Or, what I think is more likely to do, when you factor in that we are also going to push to add Frimpong, when we are also going to push to add Kerkez, and for argument's sake, because he was linked today, Cherki, and I take Szoboszlai out the team for now, and Jota out the team for now, and I set up like so. What are you seeing here? What are you seeing here? To be fair, I think it would be more likely that Cherki holds bench and then we go to Szoboszlai. And you see it like this, or more accurately, you see something like this. And what does this look like? Well, when we have the ball, it looks like this. Now, which team did we play this season that played us off the park, playing a system like this? PSG, who did Arnie Slot mention was very similar to Conor Bradley? Hakimi. I think that Arnie Slot's big brain move for the 25-26 season is to emulate PSG's attacking structure. It's to emulate PSG's attacking structure. Frimpong is your very advanced fullback who gets in and around the penalty area, gets goals, gets assists, is a real attacking threat. He also draws opponents away, so Mohamed Salah gets more space to operate in. And Mohamed Salah can put crosses in to Gakpo, can play balls across to a late arriving Wirtz, or a late arriving Szoboszlai, or a late arriving McAllister. Or Mohamed Salah could use the run of Frimpong, who goes all the way there, go there, and just kill one top corner. And then what you have on the other side is you have 4 very good players. Wirtz, by the way, would be dropping in here, he'd be dropping in there, he'd be up there, he'd be dropping in there. Wirtz gets the creative freedom, and at points you might even see something like this. Gakpo goes in there. I think the only player who wouldn't vacate position is Salah. Salah will be stuck there, and you'd either see Frimpong go there, or you would see Frimpong go there. And Frimpong is there to either receive the ball off him and play, or he would be there to put a shot in. I think what people have to understand, though, is Mohamed Salah might stay out wide, because Mohamed Salah can then go one-on-one with a guy. We want to get Salah one-on-one with players. We want to get Salah one-on-one with players, because that's how we can create stuff. If Salah's out here, and you've got Frimpong taking a guy away from him, let's bear in mind, what's the best way I can show this? Do I have? I don't have like a blank board or a blank set of opponents. So, yeah, do I have like a way I can do dots? I can do dots, perfect. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. And teams typically are playing with a pivot as well. And you'll have a winger there. A 10, a winger, and a striker. As you can tell, I'm doing this on the fly. What would happen here? Frimpong goes there. If Frimpong's making that run, he, the left back, either commits there, and in the time it takes to commit out, Salah has went, okay, you know what I'll do? Let's grab a football as well. You know what I'll do? Bang. In that gap, Frimpong in behind. Or I go, you know what I'll do? Bang, little 1-2, out wide. If, in this situation, Mohamed Salah's there, and the left back goes, you know what I've got to do? I can't leave Frimpong free. He's making that dangerous run. I can't leave him free. Let me track him instead. And he moves goal side. You've got your... Let me just move that back around for OCD. You've got your centre-backs picking up him. Szoboszlai's there. McAllister's there. Gakpo's in that position. Frimpong goes there. The left back goes. It's then on this guy, who may well not have tracked back, to pick up Salah. If Salah is one-on-one with a winger, Mohamed Salah is beating the winger. And Mohamed Salah can go inside, because you've got to bear in mind again. Let's just move him out of the way for argument's sake. If Frimpong's taking the left back, Frimpong's about there. Look at all this space. Oh, look at all this space here. This is where you want Mohamed Salah to get to. You want Mohamed Salah to get into that area there. He is most dangerous when he has the ball in that square there. Frimpong, making an inverted run, can help get him to that area by initially occupying it and then run and dragging fullback with him. And the fullback will go with him, gives the space for Salah. Or, fullback commits to Salah, and then Frimpong can run from that space to a ball that Salah plays there. Or Frimpong runs, a defender goes along with him, Szoboszlai goes, Wirtz goes. What you're getting is complete rotation. You're getting complete rotation and fluidity. That is how you kill teams. That's how we were killed by PSG. It's how PSG also killed Arsenal. It's how they killed Aston Villa. It is the way football is going. You need that fluidity in all your positions. And I think Frimpong goes a long way to doing that. And I know this is about Wirtz, and I'll touch on Wirtz now. Big ups, by the way, Midhum Morali. I appreciate the support, mate. We can try putting Elliott in this deal, potentially. I mean, I know Leverkusen were interested in Morton last year. They were interested in Morton last year. So you never know, there might be one or two players that they're willing to bring on board to reduce the price. Who knows? But what we're looking at here, you've got this right-hand side dynamic. They're attracting players. Wirtz is going to be dropping into spaces here. Szoboszlai moves on. Wirtz goes there. We are after complete and fluid rotation. Look at how PSG play. Their players are here, there, and everywhere. Dembele will start there. He'll pick up the ball there in a move. Then he'll end up there, and then he'll end up there. And Florian Wirtz has the IQ to do that. Florian Wirtz has the goal-scoring element to do that. Florian Wirtz is one of the best players on the planet. If we bought him and we committed to the PSG style of play, I could see him being our mega signing as this false nine type of position. I really, really could. And then you're looking at, well, who else can do it? Who else can do it? That's where you touch on your Rayan Cherkis of this world. That's where you can touch as well on your Luis Diaz of this world. Wirtz drops in, Szoboszlai comes out, bang. And you're playing the same way. You end up with just complete and utter fluidity on the football pitch. You end up with complete and utter fluidity on the football pitch. Tom, you're forgetting we don't have a midfield of Ruiz, Neves and Vitinha. We don't. Which is why I don't think we'll be trying to invite pressure in the same way. I think what you've got to look at, and I'll showcase it here for you, is look at the way we built up on the weekend. So when we were building up, we were like that. Ignore Kerkez and Frimpong or Bradley and Thingy in this scenario. But when we were building up, we were effectively doing that. And these guys were sitting there. And the whole thing was Alisson to Van Dijk to wide central midfielder. He would come over. Or if it was on the other side, he'd go over. He'd come over. You create a little diamond. Canate, Gravenberch, McAllister. You pass through the press. You can play it onto your wing backs, who are your ball carriers. Either Kerkez goes with it, drives up. You've got Diaz and Gakpo. Or Frimpong gets it, drives forward. He's got Wirtz. He's got Salah. That's how I think we'll break up. Well, not break up, build up. And then after that build up, Kerkez goes there. McAllister picks up that space. And you will see something like this form in terms of a bit of a lopsided back three. Or a flat back three with Gravenberch occupying centre back or very deep DM, just to ensure that Liverpool have cover for when we lose the ball. Because one thing you've got to consider, Liverpool are going to lose the ball. We're not perfect attacking wise. There are going to be points where we lose the football. If that's the case, you work like that. I think that Florian Wirtz has the potential to be the most exciting signing. He would be the most exciting signing Liverpool have made for, well, since Virgil van Dijk probably, or Alisson Becker. Genuinely, this is incredible. This is incredible. I wish with everything that we can get this Florian Wirtz deal done. I wish with everything we can get this deal done. And what it also does, I know people talk about, oh, his work rate and everything. But you do open the door for Rayan Cherki as well to operate in a similar vein to where Wirtz does. Where he's again dropping into these spaces a little bit more creative. What I think would happen more so with Cherki is something more akin to that. Where Cherki becomes, because he's so much better at creating, Cherki starts to drift everywhere and be the creator, and Salah goes from operating out here and focusing on crossing, focusing on creating. Salah starts making runs very akin to this. So what's the best way I can do it? So Liverpool build up out the back, yada yada yada, building up. The ball goes into Frimpong. Frimpong plays it into Cherki. Salah goes there. Frimpong overlap. Cherki either goes there and Frimpong across, or Cherki turns on it, plays it through the line, Salah through. Cherki's the more creative-minded version. Wirtz is the most all-round version. Xavi Simons is the other one. Xavi Simons would be the B-Tech version of your Florian Wirtz. He'd be your B-Tech version of your Florian Wirtz. I think that this is something that you've really got to consider Liverpool doing. I think Liverpool could really do something like this. And whilst this wouldn't work in every game, I do think that ultimately, where is he? This man will be kept as well. So in games where it might not be working for whatever reason, you can bring on a more traditional number 9. And I will say this, I know people will be saying all this stuff about, oh, he's had a bad season, yada, yada, yada. When Diogo Jota is allowed to focus on scoring goals, Diogo Jota is still a good footballer. There have been a number of games this season where Diogo Jota has been allowed to focus on being this midfielder. Not this midfielder, this striker, and not a midfielder, is what I meant to say. When he does that, he can still offer you a lot. If he's your backup, i.e., oh my god, our false 9 isn't necessarily working, let's get on someone who can operate as a fox in the box, and we can instead have creativity everywhere. Because I think what you'd end up seeing is something akin to this. So let's say Jota will start certain games, but more often than not, Diogo Jota will be coming on the pitch if you're chasing a goal. Imagine Konate goes off, and Liverpool are attacking with a setup like this. Are you telling me that Liverpool would not absolutely murder teams in the last 20 minutes if we got to attack like this? If we got to have players operating in here, sort of like so, it's a very sort of like lopsided build-up, but you have players here, there, and everywhere. Rotation everywhere. And then all this is doing is focusing on getting the ball to Salah, getting the ball to Frimpong, or getting the ball to Gakpo, getting the ball to Cherki, and having late run. You are trying to kill teams with these late runs. Arne Slot talks on and 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 then on some more about late runs. Late runs are his biggest thing. You kill teams if you have a multitude of runners. That is why Dominic Szoboszlai is so important for how we control games. Because Dominic Szoboszlai will just up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Mohamed Salah gets it. Mohamed Salah has the ball there. You best believe Dominic Szoboszlai is already gone on that run there. If the ball is there and the centre-back plays it forwards, you best believe Dominic Szoboszlai is carrying that ball forwards with a run and playing a 1-2 and carrying on his run again. Dominic Szoboszlai is so important to how Liverpool control games because of his work rate. And I do think that if you look at Arne Slot and the way he wants to play football, it's about runs. And Liverpool getting a false 9 in there and having that's all about the runs. That's all about getting these late runs in. But let's just hope I've got everything set up here. If I go to this one, and then I go to, let me just make sure I've got the right one. This one, and this one, and I think I'll have to play it on mute. But this should be our attempt to watch a comp where I bypass copyright, hopefully. Because there's a massive watermark over it, so you can't necessarily see it clearly. This is my attempt, people. And we're going to watch a Florian Wirtz one. Because I think people are underestimating just how important Florian Wirtz would be. Bearing in mind, he's already the best 10 in the world attacking-wise. That's a ridiculous goal, by the way. Do you understand how ridiculous that is to just nutmeg and then finish like that? This is someone who can play as a false 9. Slot doesn't play with false 9s except for the 2 games this season where he has done it and pre-season when he done it entirely. And our striker this season has, for all intents and purposes, been a false 9. That's why Darwin Núñez hasn't played, because he can't do it. That's why Luis Diaz has played a number of games as a striker, because he can do the false 9 build-up. But again, just look at how silky he is with the dribbling. And look at the zones he's picking up here. Look at the areas where he's operating. Now that could be him, Frimpong, Salah. He can operate in these areas. You get these players bombing on. Liverpool are going to be so fluid. They're going to be so fluid. It's ridiculous. Frimpong could be the reason Wirtz chooses Liverpool over Man City, just saying. I'm big on Frimpong. We're going to touch on Frimpong as well in this stream. How's his finishing? His finishing, mega. Big fan of Florian Wirtz's finishing. He knows where the goal is. Again, another good finish from inside the box. So we can operate as this false 9. When you're getting him in the box, bang. Again, a little bit of luck there, but still. I've seen a free kick goal. Mega. Wirtz again. Beaten 2-3, finish. 2-3, finish. Look at that. Confident, cool, in position. More technique, more nutmegs, more skill. I don't know how people can watch this and go, you know what, I don't see the vision. I don't see how he isn't a false 9. This, to me, is your archetypal one. Look at the zones that he's operating in, and just imagine where Gakpo would be. Imagine where Salah would be. Imagine where the runs from Soboslai, etc. would be. Gidge, I've got to have it this way so I don't get copyrighted. You're going to have to squint a little bit for the comp. I am trying to talk you through it as much as possible. But again, this is Champions League. Again, drives forward, gets into a dangerous scoring position, finishes. On the left, on the right. That's him. Again. You're telling me this is not a false 9? In fact, I reckon I can if I am smart about this. You're telling me that's not a false 9's position? You're telling me if that... Imagine that's Mohamed Salah. Imagine that's Gakpo. This is... He can play false 9. This is a false 9 if I've ever seen one. And I'll play this one on a bit so you can watch. Finish. That's a striker. That's a striker. That's someone who puts it in the back of the net. That's someone who just knows how to score goals. And his creativity, his football and IQ. How can people look at him and not see the false 9? I look at him and see the marquee future for Liverpool. Who can play false 9, who can play as a 10. You know what the good thing is? You buy Wirtz and you play him as your false 9 for the first year. And then you go into year 2. And all of a sudden, ex-striker is on the market. He's brilliant, he's mega, he's this, he's that. All of a sudden, Liverpool go, he's an opportunity we can't pass up on. We buy a striker. The striker comes in through the door for Liverpool Football Club. Guess what? Florian Wirtz can go play the 10. Florian Wirtz can go play the 10. And you've got another guy who can play in these positions, operating the best position. Would I rather spend 120 million euros, because that's apparently the price, on Florian Wirtz, or 100 million euros on Benjamin Sesko? I would rather buy Wirtz and play him as a false 9 than buy Sesko. I promise you that right now. I would rather buy Wirtz and play him as a false 9 than go for Benjamin Sesko. It just makes too much sense, this, for me. Again, takes it on the edge of the box, finish. Cuts inside, can beat a man, credible close control dribbling, wins fouls. Again, that's the position our strikers have been operating in this season. How often have we watched Diogo Jota sit near the centre circle and try and build up, take a shit touch and we lose the ball? This is someone who Liverpool cannot be passing up on. Liverpool very rarely get the opportunity to sign these world-class players. I don't want us to miss this one. I think this is someone who could be the key player for 10 years. And a false 9, on the wing, as a 10, mega. Again, let's go back to this one. Are you telling me that Mohamed Salah in this position, Florian Wirtz in this position isn't having Mohamed Salah make this run here? Or isn't having Dominic Szoboszlai make this run here? Or isn't having a Luis Diaz, if he's playing, make this run here? What does he do? Does he play the right pass? You best believe he plays the right pass. And it's put in the back of the net. Brilliant. I see your ideal false 9. If Liverpool are going to adapt and Liverpool are going to go for the PSG style of play, you go for the PSG style of forward. The PSG style of forward is someone who can play in pretty much any position across the front line and is this archetypal false 9 complete forward type thing. That is Florian Wirtz, and that is why I am so big on Florian Wirtz. But people, Let me know your thoughts in the comments and in the live chat about Florian Wirtz. Is he the guy you would commit all the money on this summer? Is Florian Wirtz the guy you commit all the money on this summer, or would you push for someone else? Because I think Liverpool have the capacity for one big transfer this summer. Is it going to be Florian Wirtz? Let me know in the comments. Let me know in the chat as well. He's a better version of Douay. He's a much better version of Douay. Douay is incredible. Douay is very raw, but Douay is incredible. Florian Wirtz is the best number 10 in the world. Florian Wirtz is remarkable. He's remarkable. Sorry, people. I've got to go back to tactical pad here real quick. Got to go back to tactical pads real quick just so I can show Rayan that if Liverpool lined up like so, and we had Canate at centre back, and I went for Florian Wirtz, and I went for Julian Alvarez, guess what? They could very well work. You could have it lined up like so. And again, drops in, boom. Or he drops in, boom. If anything, having Wirtz and Alvarez, two of the smartest footballers on the planet, would mean you have complete and utter balance. You can attack exactly the same way on the right as you do on the left. They're incredible. If I could do anything this summer, if I could get all the money in the world and I could buy just 4 players, this is how I would want Liverpool to line up next season. Wirtz, Alvarez, Frimpong, Cherki as your signings, Canate, Van Dijk, Gravenberch, McAllister. You would absolutely destroy teams. You would destroy teams. Do I know this is not going to happen? Of course I know this is not going to happen. But you would absolutely murder teams if you could play this style of football. If you could play this way of football, you would absolutely murder teams. Murder them. Probably start as a 4-3-3, then game change to a 3-5-2. Again, yeah, if these guys are bombing on, someone's going to have to go there, and it'll probably be Gravenberch. But again, it's all about fluidity. Football's about fluidity now. PSG's attack isn't one to envy. I want goal scorers. PSG's attack is probably the best attack like Barcelona's on the planet. PSG's attack is utterly ridiculous. It's utterly ridiculous. How can you not want to emulate that attack in some way? Get Cherki and Guirassy or Alvarez, then Ait Nouri and Vanderson. Guirassy's like way too old, isn't he? Though he's like 29. So we have left back, right back, striker priority wise. Do you think we have enough money left after buying above 3 to spend on Wirtz? I think the thing here is that striker priority money goes on Florian Wirtz, and Liverpool play like this, or they play like this. I think Wirtz becomes the priority sign and you build your team around that. Arne Slot has shown that he has an incredible capability to adapt. He's not going to sit there and go, oh, you can get me Florian Wirtz. Oh, it doesn't matter. He doesn't fit my team. I think he'd go, you know what? Let me buy Florian Wirtz. And you know what? I will make it work. I will make it work. I will make it work. I just want people to look at this link up here. How can people not want to see this link up even for 2 years? Wirtz and Salah as a link up would be ridiculous. It would be ridiculous. You've got to be all over that, people. I don't see how people can be against it personally. I really, really don't. I really, really, really don't. But there is something else we need to talk about. Frimpong, Fabrizio Romano at 7:54, right before I went live with Hassam. If you didn't watch that stream, go back to Hassam, watch that stream, hour and a half of me and Hassan talking about Wirtz and all this stuff. But Fabrizio Romano understand talks between Liverpool and Jeremy Frimpong's camp over personal terms have advanced against day. Players have always been keen on the move, and Liverpool are progressing on salary, length of contract, and every detail of the agreement. Deal close. So, for all intents and purposes, Jeremy Frimpong will be a Liverpool player next year. And this is your typical Liverpool signing. This is someone who is really good value for money because it's a release clause that can be paid across 4 years at just 30 million quid. He's 24. He's got a good camaraderie with the Dutch players in the squad. This is a very in-character signing. This is one that I expect to get done. And it's a very exciting one because I think, again, this is a sign that we are going to commit to your PSG style of play. I will remove Wirtz from the argument for now. And I'll just put all the players that we know are at Liverpool next season. And we typically attack in something. We attack like this, but with probably Szoboszlai being a little bit deeper there. If Frimpong's in, Frimpong is not going to sit there. Frimpong is not going to create there. Trent Alexander-Arnold would sit there and play long ball over the top, long ball over the top, long ball, long ball, long ball, long ball. Yeah, you get the gist. Jeremy Frimpong does not have these passing range that Trent Alexander-Arnold does. Frimpong is incredible at grabbing ball and boom, and boom, getting up and down that pitch like his arse is on fire. He is that quick, and he is a real attacking threat. Now, which other team uses their right back as one of their chief attacking threats operating in this area or this area? I will say it again, it is Paris Saint-Germain. I think people don't understand. I think we are going to take a lot of inspiration from PSG. I think Arne Slot learned a lot from that game. I think he's going to take a lot of inspiration from that game. And Liverpool have the players, especially in an attacking sense, to emulate that style of attack. They have the players to emulate that style of attack, which is, for all intents and purposes, a 3-3-4, whether it's created like this or whether it is created like this. Liverpool can emulate that style of play. Are our midfielders as technically secure? They are not. But can we emulate that style of play? 100% we can. 100% we can. That to me is the way we're going to go. And he is one of the most important pieces. Conor Bradley can do the same thing, by the way. But Conor Bradley is just not as good at it. And that is fine. Conor Bradley is younger. Conor Bradley's played less games. You help Conor Bradley a lot by having a Jeremy Frimpong there. If you have Jeremy Frimpong, who is the archetypal person to put in this role, like so, or like so, Bradley can learn off it, and Bradley operates under less pressure. He can focus on making sure that he stays injury-free. It makes complete sense to me. And you do also get the advantage that if it comes down to it, and you're 1-0 up with 10 minutes to go, and you want to see out a game, off goes Mo, on comes Connor, and you can go to a very resolute 4-4-2. You can go to a very resolute 4-4-2, which is how most teams who defend deep want to go. And we understand that Arne Slot has at points this season held on to slender leads. This is an incredible way to hold on to a slender lead. Right hand side, lockdown. Even if you think Frimpong isn't the greatest defender, he's got one behind him so we can take more risks. If he goes boom and misses it, Conor Bradley goes bang and sweeps up. And even then, if that doesn't happen, he drops in, he goes there. Liverpool, with Frimpong, open up an awful lot of tactical flexibility. I've said it about 17 times this stream. I will say it for an 18th time. Flexibility is the future. Liverpool need to be as flexible as possible next season. Liverpool need to be able to go from this shape to this shape to something like this shape to even something like this, where he drops in and those two sit a bit narrower. Liverpool needs to have the flexibility to play any system, because when you have the flexibility to play any system and you have a manager who is as tactically astute as Arne Slot is, you can win any game. You can win any game of football. Because if Arne Slot's watching it and we're playing our typical 4-2-3-1, I'm going to take Bradley off temporarily. We're playing our typical 4-2-3-1, as so, and we're struggling to create anything, but we are so tactically flexible that we can drop players in. All of a sudden, we are going, right, we need to be able to deal. We need to be able to switch it up. Let's move Gravenberch back to centre-back, because he's played that position a lot this season, because when we're pushing our full-backs on, he drops into cover. We drop him in. All of a sudden, I can push Frimpong really high up. I can push Kerkez really high up. What does that do for me? I can either get wide overloads with Salah and Frimpong and Gakpo and Kerkez, or they will draw players away, creating opportunities for false nines to receive ball, wingers Barmot, or midfielders make late runs. Fullbacks are slightly more ready for the defensive setup. We lose the ball. Gravenberch steps up. Soboslai on the run back. McAllister on the run back. Kerkez on the run back. Frimpong's on the run back. Before you know it, we are in our shape defensively. Liverpool need to be flexible. Jeremy Frimpong opens up an element of flexibility for us, because he can operate as a winger, he can operate as a fullback. I do not see how people are negative about this deal. And as such, it's time for comp numero dos, when I have it set up here. There we go. Oh, I need to mute that. Jeremy Frimpong. Now, we are looking... What you want to be looking for in this comp is someone who is making really good inverted runs, really good overlapping runs, and is putting in dangerous balls into the box whilst being able to operate in the final third. What I want you to look for is a winger. I want you to look for a winger here. When you're watching this, spot a winger. Straight on, taking the fullback, moving inside. Again, operating in a wide area, in the final third, beating a man, operating as that winger. Again, so let's move back slightly. Get back to this last clip here. And remove the watermark. Jeremy Frimpong. Let's just imagine this is Liverpool for a second. That's Mohamed Salah. Jeremy Frimpong is out there. If we play just a little bit, Frimpong receives the ball. This is something that could transition to Liverpool very, very, very easily. Very easily. Very, very easily. And again, beats his man. Gets down to the byline. Wirtz is pulled away on this case. Hopefully Mohamed Salah will pull away. Chance created. Again, operating the wider areas. Moving inside. I'm pretty sure this is a goal. Again, really solid finish. That's another thing that we have to consider. If we're going to be pushing our fullbacks really high up the pitch and asking them to operate in these final third areas, it'll be really helpful if our fullbacks also could score lots of goals. And that's what Frimpong does. Frimpong knows where the back of the net is. Again, right place, the right time. Our wing back, again, let me just go back ever so slightly to this position. Robert Andrich is just taking a shot. Look at where Frimpong is. Look at where Frimpong is on the bottom right of the video. Our right back isn't normally in that position, but in this system he will be, and that means you can pen teams back better. I really do think this is the next evolution for Liverpool. Getting wing backs like this. Getting wing backs who can operate in this situation. And again, right place, right time, quick touch, good. Keeper's a bit dodgy, but a good finish, a good goal. And that all comes from the fact he's operating in the correct position. Again, down the line. What can he do? Beats his man. When we are looking, what we have to consider, people, we are looking now, when we look at fullbacks, they need to be able to defend. They need to be able to not be dribbled past 30 times in a game. That's the bare minimum. But, what we want now, if we want to control games more, is a player who can operate really high up the pitch. operate in dangerous areas, link up with the other guys that we've got. That, for me, is Jeremy Frimpong. And that, for me, enables Conor Bradley to learn that side of the game better as well. And again, high press, operating up the pitch, beats his man. Look at the position. We have watched the Jeremy Frimpong clip here, and at no point have I seen him in his half. Now, people will look at that and go, oh my God, what about him defensively? What are we going to do when he's got to go one-on-one? Oh my God, he can't defend. What's the average possession? I'm sure someone in the chat can tell me. Good assist, by the way. I'm sure someone in the chat can tell me. What is the average possession for Leverkusen in the Bundesliga this season? Again, another good cross. If we've got, Jota in the box, or if we've got a false nine or a Gakpo, especially arriving in the box, that's where we'll thrive. And again, this is him operating now. Let me go back to this clip. For Holland against Spain, I think it is. Look at the areas that he's operating. I've just put that back on. It means put that back on. So, Tijani Raiders. Frimpong brings it inside. Right now, he's operating in the middle. So, on the overlap, bang. On the underlap, if he has to operate in the centre, bang, he's got it. Fluidity. I will say it again. Liverpool need fluidity this summer. Liverpool need to be able to play a multitude of formations and a multitude of systems within a game with the players that we have available. The likes of Florian Wirtz, the likes of Jeremy Frimpong, enable that to happen. Let's get back to this. We're watching a couple of minutes of this comp as he again operates in the midfield area, plays it out wide. If he has to operate out wide, he uses raw pace, beats a man, and can put a good ball in. Whatever way we need Frimpong to operate, he can work with. And again, having someone with his level of pace opens up opportunities and avenues that we didn't have with Salah. Again, assist against Spain, big game, turns up, gets an assist. Frimpong again, getting down the line, putting a dangerous ball in. I don't see how people are looking at this going with a negative. I don't see how people are looking at this as a negative. Don't see how people watch this and go, you know what, I don't want him at my football club. I think it's going to fail. I don't think it's going to work. This, to me, is the next evolution in Liverpool dominating games. This is how Liverpool get domination. It's by having players like this on the pitch. It's by having control of every area of the pitch. And Jeremy Frimpong gives you control on the right flank. Again, another game for Holland. Finish. Operating again in the wide area. When we say we are playing as a fullback, we need Jeremy Frimpong to defend as a fullback, but we need him to attack as a winger. This is bang. I really just don't see how people can be against this. I really, really don't see how people can be against this. And put the nose up at the potential signing of a Jeremy Frimpong. Again, he's just dropped a man like you wouldn't believe. Puts the cross in again. How many times have I said, Jeremy Frimpong's put a cross in, it's a goal? Now, we're operating a little bit less on crosses, but it's always a nice fucking thing to have in the arsenal, isn't it? That my wing-back, if he gets in that position, could put it in the box. Again, another cross. Arriving, goal. You've got to consider, we're going to have Soboslai arriving in. We're going to have Gakpo arriving in. We're going to have McAllister arriving in. Jota arriving in. Whoever we sign arriving in that box. We need players like this who can operate in these dangerous areas. That, to me, is why I'm fully in on Jeremy Frimpong. You sure we aren't interested in him just because of the price tag? Drifty was talking about it. The price tag probably helps his case. But I don't think we are sitting there going, you know what, we're only going to sign... Jeremy Frimpong is a really bad defender. Jeremy Frimpong is a really bad player. But you know what, his price is really good. His price is really good. I don't think that's how it is. I think we've done our due diligence on him. It helps that his price is good. But I don't think we sign him just because his price is good. I think we sign him because we want a new element of control in the team. And Frimpong up and down that right-hand side, that's control. That is control. But people, let me know in the comments and in the chat. Frimpong, yay or nay? This is the one which has got the... I figured out the problem of the echo. This is the... I've got it. I figured it out, people, don't worry. It's this scene, it's got the echo. I've fixed it now. Big ups, Welsh Scouser Matt. Please listen to Matt. Matt, smash the likes, please, people. Let me check as well, because I know that I was pretty close to 3,000 subscribers. I was pretty close to 3,000 subscribers before this stream. And I have hit 3,000 subscribers on this stream, people. Thank you very, very much for your support. I know that I've been around for a while, and it's always been, oh, I'm going to be consistent, and then I'm not. I'm going to be consistent, and then I'm not. I'm going to be consistent, and I'm not. But this summer, I'm being serious about it. And I appreciate the support. You know, I've gained 200 subscribers in the last, month, and I've only done like 4 streams. So I appreciate all the support, people, all the love, all that. It means the world to me. And I will give you consistent content. We are on the road. I like to be ambitious. People say our owners aren't ambitious. I am ambitious. We're going to push. I'm going to work my damnedest, and we are going to push as a collective for 5k subscribers by the end of the summer window. Do we reckon if I'm streaming every other day, every third day, for an entire summer, talking about Liverpool transfers, do we reckon if I nail that right, we can hit 5k subs by the end of the summer? I reckon I might just do. People. So I appreciate your love. I appreciate your support. It means the world to me. It's nice to know that I'm doing this in front of 200 odd people and not doing it in front of 2 people. This will be consistent. Big ups yourselves. And we've still got one more topic to talk about. As good as it is to hit 3,000 subscribers, we've got one more topic to talk about. And it's a guy that I've always been a bit about. Let's just make sure that... I'm used to the wrong thing, people. Professional streamer, everyone. 3k subscribers. Thank you all. 3k subscribers. Brilliant, aren't I? But Rayan Cherki is the guy that we were heavily interested in last summer. 3k subscribers, everyone. How good am I? I'm so good at my job. I'm so good at it. Make sure you like and subscribe as well, people, so you get more exciting content like you've just listened to there. All that really good stuff I was talking about. So, Rayan Cherki, interested last summer. Santi JFM Stay says he's leaning towards a Premier League move and Liverpool have interest. This is long-standing interest. Also, I'm going to make sure I pronounce his name correctly. Djamil, or Djamel. Liverpool and Dortmund are closely interested in Rayan Cherki. Initial contacts have already taken place with his entourage. On the PSG side, no recent exchanges with the player or his camp. I think there is an element of opportunity with this one. I think there was a look at it last summer. Because what's got to be bared in mind, this is his breakout year. This is Rayan Cherki's breakout year. In fact, if I quickly grab this and go find Rayan Cherki's stats on transfer market, here we go. I'll zoom it in. This is Rayan Cherki's breakout year. 12 goals, 19 assists in all competitions. That's 31 goal contributions in 43 games. Last season, let's just hope this works. Well, when it loads. Last season, Rayan Cherki was a promising player, but he didn't necessarily have the numbers. If we drop down to it, again, 39 games, 12 goal contributions. So you could see that he had an element of quality, but the output wasn't there. And to work at Liverpool, you not only need quality, you need output. Rayan Cherki now has that output. 31 goal contributions in 43 games is remarkable. He's averaging a goal contribution just shy of every 100 minutes. And for 22 million, that's something Liverpool have to be all over. That's something Liverpool have to be all over. And again, if we are going back to my tactical pad, and we are looking at how we could potentially fit in, I'm sticking with that fullback pairing. And I'm going to be a little bit, taking a bit of a gamble here, and saying that I'm going to add Cherki and Wirtz. I think Liverpool are going to drift to this style. Probably with Wirtz operating as more of your deeper midfielder. Something like that. But these two can rotate. These can rotate. These can rotate. Or even these can rotate. It'd be a very fluid front four. And the difference in this front four would be, rather than what we've had this season with Mohamed Salah, everything this season, if I just remove Cherki, I remove Wirtz, I remove Frimpong, I remove Kerkez, and I go to the Liverpool team and I put in Soboslai, I put in Bradley, I put in Robertson, I put in Jota. Everything this season for Liverpool Football Club has been get ball to Mo, run, give Salah the space, and Salah will play the right pass. Salah will pick out the right option. Salah will make the correct decision. What would happen if we have... I've got to grab them all again. See, this is the only downside of it. Frimpong, I have Kerkez, I have a Florian Wirtz, and I have a Rayan Cherki, is Liverpool can play it so Salah goes back to a more traditional style of football, which is you've got Jeremy Frimpong bombing on, Kerkez sitting in, Gravenberch operating there. The ball gets to a Cherki. What does Rayan Cherki do? Rayan Cherki can either go bang to Frimpong when Frimpong's making his run, or more accurately, Frimpong takes a guy with him, and Mohamed Salah, who started out there, so Frimpong goes something like that, or like that. Frimpong makes the run around Salah, Cherki has the ball, Cherki beats a man, Mohamed Salah goes from here, right into there. Right into that area, and Cherki, bang, feeds him. And we are putting Mohamed Salah in goal-scoring positions. Mohamed Salah has put together a really good season. One of the greatest seasons you've ever seen. With near on 30 goals, near on 20 assists. And that was with him being the chief creator. Imagine if next season, my wingers, instead of having to sit out there and stay out there the whole time, get to go bang. When Wirtz or Cherki have picked up the ball and Kerkez and Frimpong have bombed on, Wirtz and Cherki can look at going, right, Gakpo's made that run, I'll pick him out. Salah's made that run, I'll pick him out. And we are getting the goal scorers in the positions to score goals. Football is a very simple game, people. You want to get your goal scorers in positions to score goals. Wirtz and Cherki are some of the best on the planet at getting goal scorers in positions to score goals. Big ups Ryan as well for the super chat, mega super chat. I know we clash. I appreciate the support very much, mate. I want to see W's in the chat for Ryan. You know, you're lucky I don't have the videos on hand to take the piss out of you. And I've also realised that your super chat is very long, so I have to kind of sit right up in my chair so my face is available. Wirtz is called, but he's going City anyway, so just accept it. Also, if we are willing to spend over 100 million on Wirtz, then pay it for Isak. Isak wouldn't turn us down for Newcastle. Also, a 0% chance of us signing average Alvarez. I'm going to disagree with you on the Alvarez points. And I'm going to respect you because you give me a lovely super chat, but I'm going to disrespect you on the Alvarez points. I don't think the Wirtz one is dead and buried. I really don't. I think there's a lot in that. I don't think he would fly to Liverpool if he wasn't interested. I don't think his family would come to Liverpool and have meetings with Liverpool if there wasn't an element of, I like their project, I like what they're doing. And Isak, if it's not a case of oh, it's 100 mil. I reckon we'll be able to get Wirtz for about 100 million quid. When Newcastle get Champions League football, Alexander Isak's 150. It's a big difference. It's a real big difference. It's a real big difference, Ryan. I think if we could get Isak, we would. But I just don't think it's possible this window. I don't think any big name striker is possible this window, which is why back in earlier on the stream I said that I think the money's going to go on Wirtz and we're going to play false 9 again. But again, this is what I'm saying. And even then, let's say Wirtz doesn't come in and Cherki does. Do we lose an element of it? 100% we do. Szoboszlai comes in. Szoboszlai just creates in a different way. Szoboszlai carries the ball. Szoboszlai drives the ball forward in those areas. And again, you still have Cherki to create. I had my doubts about Rayan Cherki at the start of the season. The output is there now. If you can get Rayan Cherki for 20 odd million and Arne Slot knows for a fact he can work with him, it's probably the most slam dunk. It's probably the most slam dunk deal you can do. It's probably the most slam dunk deal you can do in terms of value for money. Wirtz false 9 or Cherki false 9? As a man with gluttony once said, why not both? Why can't I have both, baby? Why can't I have both? Why can't I have both, baby? We got the best 3 midfielders. We don't need to change, just add. Yeah, that midfield. You know I'm a big fan of how midfielders play this year. I've been a big defender of Dominic Szoboszlai this season. But you can always improve. Dominic Szoboszlai still has his purpose. Let me just make that abundantly clear. Dominic Szoboszlai is still very important to this Liverpool squad. Because the running that he does and the areas that he covers dominate games for Liverpool. We dominate games because Dominic Szoboszlai is so athletic and because he makes so many late runs. But there are situations where I need someone like a Cherki to play that position and go, as good as running is, here's a pass. As good as running is, here's a shot. As good as running is, here's a tight little dribble to win a penalty. If you are saying value for money, Cherki makes more sense now. Value for money wise, yes, but I also think that there's got to be an element of if I'm buying a starter, value for money is a little bit more irrelevant and it's just about the quality. Florian Wirtz has more quality, but if you're going value for money wise, Florian Wirtz is not 4 times the player that Cherki is. In that case, Cherki is better value for money, but Wirtz is a better footballer, and Wirtz is the guy who I'd want. Mikey Garnett, Wirtz to Bayern or City, Cherki to PSG, Huijsen to Real Madrid. You need to realise that the media use Liverpool views and clicks, hence why we never sign half the players we're linked with. The Huijsen one, yeah. Cherki, for all intents and purposes, he's not going PSG, as I showed you earlier. PSG are not making any contact with his entourage. In terms of Wirtz, I really think that you've got to look at the Wirtz stuff with an element of, there could be shutting in this. But Liverpool do typically operate in silence. However, this Frimpong stuff has been around for a while, and he's the one we've gone for. This KK stuff has been around for a while, and he's the one we've gone for. I think this window might just be operated just ever so slightly differently. Ever so slightly differently. I hear your point. Historically, that was how Liverpool worked, but I think this is the summer for change. I think from top to bottom, this is going to be the summer for change. But people, I touched on everything I want to touch on. We hope and we pray for Florian Wirtz. We hope and we pray for Rayan Cherki. And we just wait for Frimpong. And we keep counting down the time until the Reds lift that fucking title. But people, thank you all very much for watching. This stream is going to redirect you straight to El Ahwa with Hassam. Make sure you get in the comments there, putting in how Liverpool are going to sign Florian Wirtz and bully Manchester City and win a second title in a row because we've got Arnie bloody Slot. And it's back on Echo. Here we go. I think I've got the right one this time. Here we go. because we got Arnie slot. So, before I go, you know what you're already. Make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, turn on the notification bell. Before you head out of here, I'll be back probably Saturday, Sunday. It'll be a weekend stream. We'll touch on more news if there's any, unless there's like major breaking news that happens that I've got to come on for. I'll probably do a show on Saturday or Sunday. Touch on everything, break down a little bit more news. Make sure that you're here for that because, you know, professional streamer now. Big ups yourselves, everyone. Stream takes to Malakwa. Make sure you like that stream as well. I'll be on the Football Terrace tomorrow, top 6 show. Big ups, everyone. Ta-ra, in a bit. Ta-ra, 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 up the fucking Reds. Come on, boys.